Great lineup here for the first group race of the new season, the National Day Cup. 1,000-metre Group 3, run as a handicap, and the top weight is Victory, 133 on his back, champion sprinter last season. Winner's Way, already with a win under his belt this season on the opening day. Hot King Prawns won 6 of his 7 starts, group company for the first time. Not Listening to Me, runner-up in this race last year. Fabulous one. He was last of 7 behind Winner's Way last time out. Dr. Jeff has his first start for Francis Law. This 1,000 might be on the sharp side for him. And Jumbo Luck, he's 1 from 1 course and distance. He's £9 out of the handicap. Not Listening to Me, he's been up at Chung Fa for John Moore. Looks like he's enjoyed his time as well. He came back on Friday. How's the speed map looking here down the straight, Brad?
Looking pretty good, Andrew. You would expect they'll fire along in the early stages here with, of course, a Fabulous One, who was a little slow to move on debut and wasn't able to lead, but I think to the straight track, he'll find the front. Hot King Prawn will just sit off of him. Jumbo Luck will be there. Victory may be beaten for pace a touch in the first 300 to 400 metres, but he can still stalk the speed with Not Listening to Me, who does look to be going particularly well after his little freshen up at Chun Fa.
Victory, the first one we're going to look at here. We just thought we'll concentrate on these main contenders here. And look, he's going really nicely. He's all primed up, ready to go, and he looks very tough to beat. Interesting, Zach Purden has gone the way of Victory over this horse. Hot King Prawn, another one who's he's a youngster. He's come through. He's done everything that's been asked of him last season as well, and quite an exciting horse as well. Hot King Prawn, he goes well. This last bit is quite interesting because Dr. Jeff is a 2,000-metre horse, but over 1,000 metres here with Fox Chunga, who's a sprinter, he just took off from him, and he's now here with Francis Loy, and he looks a different horse. And you know, I think he's going to run a bit of a race over 1,000 metres that some of these stayers do. There you go. I'll put him in. I know you think I'm mad, but we'll see.
All right. Zach Purden actually rode Dr. Jeff last year to victory at Happy Valley over a much longer trip, and he's in a pretty good position, Zach. He'll be riding Victory here in the National Day Cup.
Zach, Victory, champion sprinter from last season. How's he come back from the break?
Listen, obviously he's not going to be fully wound up for this race. He's got to carry top weight. We don't know if the straights his preferred, race or racing style either, but he's been trialling nicely, not flash, just going through the motions, and I'm sure he'll just come on from the run.
You said last season if he improved another 2 to 3 lengths, he could dominate the sprinting ranks. Has he shown any signs of improvement from the trials and what you've had to do with him so far this season?
I'd say not so far. He hasn't done much in his trials, and he's a long way from being ready, so it's hard to know if he's taken those steps yet, but I'm sure as he gets further into his prep and gets a little bit fitter, then he'll be able to give me a bit of a better guide.
You mentioned the weight before. He's got the top weight, takes on a horse like Hot King Prawn you've had a lot to do with, has 16 pounds less. Could that tilt the scales in his favour? Yeah,
of course. Hot King Prawn's a very effective horse up the straight, and the lightweight that he's got to carry compared to the heavyweight I've got to carry is obviously a concern. But we'll go out there and we'll see how we go.
Is there much between them in terms of ability?
Well, one's done it. He's got the runs on the board, and one's yet to do it. So we'll see how they end up at the end of the season.
Where do you have a horse like Winner's Way in the scheme of things?
Yeah, he's probably just a peg off these horses. I'm not sure how he'll handle the straight, although he's got a racing characteristic that I think should be able to adapt well up the straight. I'm sure he'll run a good race.
It's hard to quantify, isn't it, before he's had a start? Has he improved 1 length, 2 lengths, whatever it was? But that was Fine Needle finishing behind him. He's won the Sprinter Stakes on Sunday. I think this horse is a freak. He's
a very good horse, there's no doubt. The thing we have to take into calculation is the fact that this is the starting point. December's the goal for most of these horses. Hot King Prawn's got the score on the board. Down the straight, Victory, Zach said it there. Even in that bit of track work Paul highlighted, he looked a little bit podgy. He's far from 100% ready to go. Obviously, he'll be looking for December time for that to be taking place. But class might get him over the wire, but he does have the weight to carry. So I'm heading towards Hot King Prawn at the moment.
OK. Karras has been riding Hot King Prawn in the trials. John Sides obviously knew this clash was going to come up. Zach's gone with Victory, so he gets in with a lightweight here, Hot King Prawn. And down the straight, he was unstoppable.
He was. I think if I Victory is going to get defeated, it's probably in this race, all being equal, as opposed to when we head towards the Premier Bowl and then obviously onto the sprint trial and the sprint itself. Because he's got to carry the 133 and it's down the straight course, whereas this guy's got the lightweight, he loves the straight course. Probably Victory's, you know, as you say, could be anything. Hot King Prawn's still got a little bit to prove, and the ratings suggest that. But he might be up to it yet too. Yeah,
time will tell, won't he? Zach did say that in the interview. I'm going to stick with Victory though. He's unbeaten fresh, and he runs really well, and I think he's a special horse.
Yeah, Hot King Prawn 5 from 5 down the straight, and getting £16 as well. This is Winner's Way, winning first up, but it's taking a drop in trip, and although it's just a Group 3, and to a certain extent he's taking a step up in class as well, along with Fabulous One and Jumbo Luck as well.
He really does hold the key here, Zach Purton, or his thoughts on the race. And I'm going to throw him in Winner's Way because he's had a race underneath his belt, and 2, first go over the straight 1,000. The straight 1,000 here at Sha Tin can be like a 1,200-metre race elsewhere, and I think that will play into his hands. He'll be giving away a start, but he will find the line quite okay, and he'll go into the tips. I struggle to see him probably overhauling Hot King Prawn and Victory, or Victory and Hot King Prawn, but I think he'll run a place.
Yeah, I've got him in there, and on a 4th line, I think Winner's Way. He's definitely got the wood on those other 2 horses. Fabulous One dropped out pretty quickly, and Jumbo Luck had excuses, but he has had his issues, Jumbo Luck.
He has.
First time he'll try this straight. Wishful thinker there. We'll go around later on. Now, this is Not Listening to Me, up at Chung Fa. Now, he ran 2nd in this race last year. Now, his rating has dropped a long way. There's a reason for that, but he carried, what, 130 last year, and he's got 113, maybe a couple of pounds overweight from Vincent this time round, and he looks fresh to me.
Yeah, if you want to go right back through his form and highlight his best runs, he's been competitive at the top level in the past. Chun Fa obviously has done him the world of good. This is a super trial. They didn't break any records on the clock, but it's just the ease in which he's done it. He's obviously refreshed both physically and more so to the case mentally, I would have thought. And he does have a good record over the course and distance, and he's done it before, so he's certainly no write-off. I'd be surprised to see him win as an 8-year-old now, taking on the horses on the way up, but I think he'll give a good sight.
Yeah, 8-year-old for me, I didn't put him in.
All right. Dr. Jeff, does he get a run?
He does. I'm going to put him in. The star. You sometimes see these stars sprint really well fresh. He's never raced over 1,000, Dr. Jeff, but he has won over 1,200 before. But Victory and Hot King Prawn, to me, are going to clear out and dominate this race. I think Victory will beat Hot King Prawn, though. Dr. Jeff will be the one hitting the line hardest, and Winner's Way with that win already this season looks good. So I went 1, 3, 6 and 2. I did exotics because I thought Dr. Jeff, he does run 3rd. He's going to add some value to it. He'll run a race.
Based on the evidence we've got, I think Hot King Prawn is clearly the horse to be beating in this race. The ratings suggest Victory is going to be the better horse, and already is the better horse, but that's over 1,200 metres. He's not fully fit. He's got all the weight to carry. So Hot King Prawn gets the most ticks for me here. For that reason, I'll tip him to beat Victory, who will go on and be favourite, I would have thought, for the international sprint here in Hong Kong, on a Hong Kong side, all being equal. He does look a really serious horse, no doubt. But I think if Hot King Prawn's ever going to beat him, it'll be in this race. So 3 to beat 1, Winner's Way, Not Listening to Me, in for the minors.
Yeah, Victory, I think he's the one to beat. John Size 1-2, Victory and Hot King Prawn, and I'll need a doctor. If Dr. Jeff runs a place in the Cup, we will see that. Next up for us, race number 8 is the Celebration Cup.